I know I can't be the only one. Have you ever just got in the mood where you just don't want to do nothing? You just want to chill. But you can't do that because you already got it in your routine. You done put it in your routine, so you just gotta get that thing done. That's me. Hello you guys, my name is Shaneria and this is Talking Crime. On this channel, we like drama, we like tea, and sometimes we just want to hear somebody else's story. And maybe that story can bring awareness to us. So we watch it. You guys, if you like that type of content, hit that subscribe button, hype me up, share, and also comment your opinion about these stories. These are not my stories, but I share them and I react to them. Always down in the description will be their actual channel. So even if it's not linkable, you can go to that platform and type it in and it'll take you over to them. So never have I ever said that these stories are mine. I'm a reaction channel, I react to them. You guys, if you like that type of content, hit that subscribe button. And if you are returning, y'all already know how we like to do it. Let's get started on today's reaction, but hype me up, share. Let's get started.
All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all this story. I'm sorry to all parties involved. I'm not gonna say no names or nothing like that, but this is like, I think this is a pretty good story, and you know, it's about my son. You know, my son that passed or whatever. If he was here, he would not like me telling this story. Like, he's not proud of the situation. It just happened. But anyway, at the time, I'm in like a super toxic relationship. You know, to be honest with you, the guy who I was dealing with, he had somebody. You know, he claimed he wasn't happy. Me and him, you know, started off as friends, and it turned into what it turned into. So when I say toxic. So around this time we beefing, and he called me because I had ended up loaning him some money, and you know, if I fuck with you, I'm that type of girl. If I fuck with you and you having hard times and I have it, what's mine is yours or whatever. So I loaned him some money. He called me. He like, yeah, you could come get your money. I got your money. You know, we beefing at the time. So I ain't gonna lie, I was being petty. I packed a bag to make it look like a whole bag, or overnight bag, and I sat it on my back seat before I went to see him. So I pull up or whatever, you know, at the address he sent me, and he pull up next to me, and I'm like, you know, what's up? Where the money? So he like, damn, you don't need, that's all you came here for? And I'm like, yeah. So he ended up getting out the car. So he come to the car. First thing you know, his eyes went to the back seat. So he like, where you coming from? So I'm like, don't worry about that. Mind your business. So he like, bitch, you slept by, nigga. So I'm like, don't call me out my name. Like, don't worry about what I was doing. Do you have the money or you don't? So, bitch, you slept by, nigga. No, ain't no.
Kindly, sir, move back from my car. Drive the hell off. Of course, she said that it was a toxic situation, but baby, like, you got a whole nother girl, like, which she shouldn't have been engaging in a situation like that in the first place. But you don't have to take what he's saying to you. You don't have to be called out your name. She should have drove off, cause who? What?
No, ain't no, don't worry about, you know, whatever. So we went to arguing back and forth. So yeah, we went to arguing back and forth or whatever. And one thing about him, when I met him, he told me that, you know, he only went down on one female. And of course I became number two, if that was the truth. But he didn't like for me to talk about it. Like, he didn't like for me to mention it. He would do it, but he didn't want to hear nothing about it, right? So when we was arguing, I'm like, boy, fuck you, eat my, or whatever. So when I said that, he slapped me. I'm talking about, caught me by surprise, slapped me, right? So I'm like, this nigga slapped me. So I roll the window down, pull off. So I called my cousin.
One thing people shouldn't do is get their family in the middle of it. Like, you already know you dealing with a toxic person, but What if you call that cousin and something happened, all because you could have just walked away? You could have just never looked back. But yeah.
So I meant to say, I rolled the window up, pulled off. So I called my cousin, and I'm like, cuz, this is my favorite cousin, it's my gay cousin. I don't want y'all to feel like I called nobody to do him nothing, but I called my cousin to vent, and I'm like, cuz, can you believe this nigga?
But we all know when we call people to vent, it's gonna explode because your loved ones love you and they don't want to see nobody do nothing to harm you. Where the beef at? Where? But you know what I'm saying? You just calling to like say what happened, but you gotta be careful with that because loved ones love you and they don't want to see you be hurt. So the first thing they gonna think is, oh no, he fucked up. You get what I'm saying?
Slap me? So he like slapped you. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this nigga slapped me. So I'm like, I'm telling him what happened or whatever. So I'm going in the house, and I'm like, I can't believe he slapped me. So I make it to my bedroom. I didn't realize that Carrie was in my bathroom in my bedroom. So he come out the bedroom. So he like, who's out the bathroom? He like, who slapped you? So I'm like, oh no, baby, I'm telling a story. So he like, nah, ma, we don't lie to each other. And that's the relationship that we had. We literally actually came up with like a pact. So we told each other like, we're not gonna lie to each other no matter what. That was just how me and my baby rolled. So he hit me with that, we're not gonna lie to each other. So I'm like, yeah, dude slapped me or whatever. So he like, I don't think I told him the whole story, but he like, you done, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm done. He like, man, he better not come back over here. I'm like, man, he not coming back over here. That's it. It's it. That's a wrap. I'm like, I'm not dealing with no nigga who put their hands on me or whatever. So, that was that. So fast forward a few days, maybe a week at the most passed, and I'm asleep. Now, we used to leave our front door unlocked, which is so irresponsible, I know. But the neighborhood was real nice. It's when we were living in Katy, and we used to leave our front door unlocked. So I'm knocked out asleep, standing over you or watching you. So I wake up and it's him. So I'm not gonna lie, I was so happy to see him or whatever. So we end up having makeup sex, and then afterwards I'm like, oh shit, where's Carrie? So I put my clothes on, I get up. Instead of going to his bedroom upstairs, the easiest thing to do was to go to the front door to see if I saw his car outside. So as I'm going to the front door to see if I see his car outside, he's coming in the front door. So he like, ma, who that car for outside? Because dude wasn't in his regular car. So my nerves were so bad. So I'm like, baby, I'm going to tell you, give me a second. So he's walking in the house. He following me to the kitchen. As he's coming to the kitchen, dude coming out my bedroom. So he like, what's up, KT?
Oh, God. I'm not even there, and I'm like, yikes. Like, see, that's what I be saying. But she didn't tell his son, he overheard it, but.
So dude coming out my bedroom. So they literally like meet in the kitchen. So dude like, what's up, KT? So he put his hand out to give him dap or whatever. So my son, now when I told my friends this story, I never really could describe like what my son did. My son didn't dap him. What he did was he walked up to him, and I don't know, maybe he was sizing him up, but he did something like, he walked up to him and he bent his knees and he came up. And so dude was like, and my son walked off. So dude like, what's up with him? Because all that like he looked at him. Let me do it one more time. He walked up, dude tried to dap him. He didn't dap him. He walked up and he like, and then he stood up and he walked off. So dude was like, man, what's up with KT? So I'm like, man, he mad at you. He like, mad at me for what? I'm like, he know He like, man, you told this dude I put my hands on you? I'm like, no, I didn't technically tell him, but he know. He overheard and now he knows. So he like, bro, I'm about to go. So I'm like, all right. Now my son went upstairs to his room. So remember, we in the kitchen. So he walked back in my bedroom, I guess to get his things. All I know is my son come downstairs, pass up the kitchen, pass me up, go straight to the bedroom. I kind of stopped in my tracks because now I'm like, oh shit. So I hear my son say, man, what you doing here? So I don't know what dude said or whatever. And all I know is my son cocked back and slapped. Now my baby was about 5'9", 104. Y'all see the pictures, 140 pounds. This dude right here, 6 feet. I don't want to offend him. Big guy, you know what I'm saying? Maybe about 260, 270. Yeah, about 270, something like that. He cocked back and slapped dude so hard till he hit the floor. Like he hit the ground, he hit my bedroom floor. And I immediately, went for him to try to help him, get up. I really was in a state of shock. So I went down to help him. He jumped up. He, hemmed my baby up on the wall. So now I'm on his back like, get off my baby. So my son like, yeah, bitch, come outside. Nigga, you want to put your hands on somebody? Nigga, come outside. He looked like a fucking midget compared to this guy or whatever. So, it was just so much commotion. He telling me, I'm not going to do him nothing. Get off me. Because I'm like all on him. My son is irate. You know what I'm saying? Then my other son ended up coming in the bedroom. And
see, that's what I'm saying. And boys, they don't play about that mama. Especially if you ain't their daddy and stuff. Oh, who? You about to smack who and then walk back up in here. So that's what I'm saying. She didn't tell him. But baby... And then she got another son.
So it's so much commotion going on. My other son, Amadi, I have to introduce y'all to Amadi, but Amadi comes downstairs and Amadi don't know what's going on. He home from college, all he knows is he see all this going on. Dude going crazy, KT going crazy. I'm in a frenzy. So he like, man, look, I don't know what's going on, but bro, you gotta go. So, dude composed himself and he left. And he called me and, he was like, man, listen, he like, your son put his hands on me. So I'm like, wait, hold up. Don't call me telling me nothing about my son. Don't call me threatening my son. Like, it is what it is. So he hung up. He called me back. He like, yeah, I say, listen. He like, no, listen. He like, listen. I'm not mad. He like, I should have never put my hands on you. He like, dude did what he was supposed to do. He like, if it was me, I would have done worse. But, so, and after that phone call, I'm not gonna lie, I sat on the edge of my bed for like 30 minutes straight. I was in a state of shock. You know what I'm saying? I have these boys and, I didn't really realize how overprotective and how they're grown now. And that's when it finally hit me. Like, I have grown kids that do not play about their mama. Like, KT did not play about his mama. And, that was big for me. And it just really set the tone. Set the tone for the love that he had for his mom. So yeah, I know the guy is not going to appreciate this story. My baby probably wouldn't want me telling this story, but I don't care. I don't have any fears. You know what I'm saying? My biggest fear in life, and anybody who knows me will tell you, my biggest fear has always been to lose a child. And now that has happened, I'm not scared of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell my truth. I'm going to do my get ready with me's. And, I honestly feel like there's nothing that I can't do. And I owe that all to my son. So I hope y'all like my story. I have so many more. I've been through so many things. But yeah, there was a time my son slapped my boyfriend. I hope y'all liked it.
Yeah, I feel like as a mother and you being a single mother, like a lot of times you don't think, like you just going and the first thoughts is I got my own back regardless and my kids, right? But you don't think the things that your children see, like it's always in the back of their mind. But it's something about your boys that it stays. And them hearing, well, your son that has passed, and rest in peace to your son, and you know, my condolences and praying for your strength and everything. But the first thing he heard was somebody smacked his mama. And who smacked his mama? You have to think, now that your children are older and they becoming like grown adults, they're not gonna play that shit. So at the end of the day, he knew he was wrong for smacking you, regardless of what happened. He knew that he was wrong, especially calling you out your name. But when that son overheard your conversation, baby, all bets was off. You should have left that man alone and never had him come back to your house. Like, stop. I don't know what you and him thought, but this wasn't it. And your son definitely was not playing about you at all. And the other son wasn't either. And he definitely wasn't playing about his brother. But he did want to keep down the extraness and tell old boy, like, you gotta go. I don't know why you on that motherfucking floor, but you gotta get up and get out of here. Point blank, period. And then you got two sons. I don't know how many sons she got, but these two boys definitely wasn't playing. And for you to have that man back up in that house, up in that bed, you knew better. You knew better. And I'm glad you did better, because you sit on that bed for 30 minutes had you thinking like, oh, yeah. That door unlock also was kind of dangerous. And y'all, it kind of cut off the story about how he got in the house. She did say that they leave their door unlocked in the front because of the neighborhood they stayed in. But I can finish that up. Like, she was saying, like, he came in the house while she was asleep and he was standing over her when she woke up. So, like, it seemed like she said she felt like somebody was standing over her or whatever it was. But yeah. Hopefully now she locked her door. And she got other stories on her page. Again, I dropped down in the description people's story page. You know, the page I got that story off of. So it will be down in the description. If it's not clickable, you can always go to that platform and type in the name of her channel and go hear the rest of her stories. But I'm gonna attempt to find her story about the son that smacked, you know, this son she talking about that smacked the guy that she was talking to. The story of him being unalive. Like, I'm gonna go back and find that story. You guys, drop in the comment section what you think about this actual story we talking about right now. Like, do you think like she just thought her son would let it go? Do you think that she knew her son would smack the out of him when he seen him like he said? What do you think about this story? Don't forget to like, comment, hype this video up, share this video. Get me out in the algorithm. Like, get me out there. And if you are returning, I really appreciate you guys. I hope you comment, like, hype me up also. And definitely come back for another video. I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.